So can you hear me? Speak for me, please.
Hi.
Yeah, that was convincing. Let me put this a little bit closer to you. Say that again.
Hi.
Okay, there. The bars actually went up. We can sort of hear you now. Excellent. All right. So this is kind of a test run for my new role-playing game session. We're going to try this again. Not this particular session, but just role-playing in general. The world is one of my creation. We are using D&D 3.5 rules with some heavy modifications to represent the world setting. And we have a new character. We're going to do a little prequel here. We have a Pyx. It's Pyx Scout, right?
Yeah, Pyx Scout.
Yeah, the Pyx are essentially like pixies, hence the abbreviation in the name. They are a creature that can manifest supernatural wings of light to fly. They are roughly a foot tall, and one is being played by my wife, who also has vertical problems of her own. So...
Hardy, har.
She's not technically a midget. She has like an inch to lose to be one, but still. All right, so I need from you a name for the character.
Good damn question.
Exactly. That's why we're doing this prequel.
I haven't even thought of names.
Well, that could be a problem. You gotta call her something.
Well, I don't know what is there.
Other than annoying.
Yeah, obviously. Is there any particular
The setting uses a lot of French. The idea I had in my head is that the noble races, which are the good guys, they basically lived on a planet that's pretty much the equivalent of what France was like during the high Renaissance. So you have lots of fields and temperate forests there, and when winter comes, it snows. And because of that, these races, although they are all separate races, have all lived together for so long that there's a lot of like shared names, a lot of shared customs. They pretty much all consider themselves one of the same group. I haven't come up with a name for that group yet. Right now, we just call it for game's sake the Franks, off the old German tribe name. But there tends to be a lot of French names. You run into a lot of dwarves, for instance, with French names, which is really weird when I start to think about it. You know, French where you're like, Robert, Pierre, come on, let's kill the orcs. Ah! You know, you expect something like stove or store, you know, something Germanic. But no, these guys are going to be French.
Sophie, I guess.
Sophie? We'll go with Sophie. Sophie's a good short general name. All right, Sophie. So, 3 days ago, a major event happened. And where did my manuals go?
Well, I
I brought them in with me.
I got Forgotten Rooms on me.
That's not what I was looking for. Oh, they're over there on the other side of the room. I'm going to need those. Let me get those for a second. Oh, So, approximately 3 days ago, in game time, a major event occurred that no one has been able to explain and has got everybody on edge. Specifically, at about 2 o'clock in the morning, a thunderous voice roared in the heavens, something in an ancient language that many people don't speak anymore. And depending on what religious sect or what profession you have, people have said various things about what it means. But loosely translated, the thing that was shouted in the sky from this supernatural voice was, "The earth is soaked with blood, only blood can redeem it." Not a very encouraging thing to hear at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No.
And I don't mean loud like there's someone in a room being loud. I mean, picture a hurricane force wind voice screaming this into the sky.
Oh, yikes. So.
Kind of like what you see in the Elder Scrolls game when the Greybeards do their announcement, right?
Yeah.
Very similar thing here. Needless to say, everybody is really, really scared. There have been riots. There have been a lot of breaking and enterings, a lot of murders, a lot of people trying to blame people they don't like for the problems, etc., etc. This culture also always had a thing about witches. There's a kind of a witch fear in the game setting. Specifically, what that means is not they're necessarily afraid of magicians. They're afraid of people that truck with necromancy and demons. That's how they're defining a witch. So a wizard walking down the street isn't going to get harassed. But somebody who's had a known past is likely to find themselves shunned or maybe even strung up kind of thing. Now, this is the city. It's called Our Home. As you know, you saw me working on the map a couple of days ago. The city is a few miles wide. It's about, I think I said when I was all together, it was like 6 miles wide. It was a major city on its home planet. Yeah. And altogether it's about 6 miles wide and about 3 miles north to south. And it sits straddling this river. I forget what the French for the river meant. I think it meant blessed or gentle, one of the two. And the river itself is pretty wide. The city's feel is kind of like a mix of London along the Thames and New Orleans. Yeah, I see that look. By which I mean that this is kind of a melting pot city. And it's got several sections of the city which are, let us say, low class. The main feature of the city, in addition to the river, is this mountain over here on the other side of the map, which the nobles basically lifted up, and the fortress that sits atop of it. Back on its home planet, this was like the second or third most prominent city in its country. So that's a huge fortress. The fortress itself is over a mile wide. Yeah, it's big. And so the city's architecture, since it was a major city, is pretty much what we're used to thinking of as being a city in modern terms. You don't see like a lot of mud waddle and stuff, but it still has that medieval thing of the city. It's got very cramped streets. Houses are like right next to one another. A lot of places in the rich area have like their own yards or their own places where they grow crops. But that brings us to where we're playing. We're playing this area down here, the Quartier Sud, which means South Quarter. Most locals call this Southie. And just like South Boston, on which this is based, it is known for being a violent, gang-ridden dive. Hence why on the map, it's in black.
Lovely.
A lot of business used to come through Southeast South Gate. And typically this is where you have your black markets. This is where you have your extra legal things. The city's pretty relaxed when it comes to like its morality. Hence why I say New Orleans. Like drug use, they don't really have a problem with.
Okay.
But let's say you're dealing with a drug that might accidentally have disastrous consequences, like turn someone into a troll at a random moment. Oh yeah. So there is a kind of police force in effect. They're called the Watch. Hold on, one of my devices is making noises when I told it not to. Most people in the city have an alignment of neutral, and by that I just mean neutral. They are primarily self-interested people, especially right now with the terrors that are going on.
Yeah.
In South Quarter, most of them tend towards neutral or neutral evil. Now, neutral evil in alignment means that the person is not only highly self-interested, they're willing to dick you over to get what they need.
Oh, lovely.
They're not going to, like, stab you or anything, but you can expect them to, like, rob you, set you up for scams, that kind of thing. That's the... This is your character stuff, right? Yeah, I will need that eventually. I'm going to hold on to that. So, as I said, it's about 2-3 days since the big event, and this is what your character knows. She moved to the city with a bunch of other Pyx, but during the time of the Troubles, they have decided, screw this, we're leaving, and they left you behind.
Oh, they were so nice.
So you're kind of on your own right now.
And I'm tiny.
Yep, you're a foot tall.
So, and I live in the bad area of town. Jeez.
Well, basically what I'm going to say is that that's where they first came into the town, through the South Gate, and you've actually been surviving like on the top of a building roof and no one knows you're there.
That works for me.
All right. So that's where you start off today. What do you do?
I don't know, I'd probably go about, let's see, is it still in early morning? Like
Yeah, we're going to start in the early morning.
So it's just after that big old loud thing?
Well, that was 3 days ago.
Oh, 3 days ago, okay. I don't know, what would be a Pyx's morning routine these? Do they have a special diet or anything like that I should
No. You're an omnivore, just like a human.
Okay.
But when we got done making your character, you only had 18 gold left, so you're probably looking for a job.
Yeah, I'd probably be working for, like, actually I have, like, 11 gold left.
Oh, you're really looking for a job.
Yeah, so yeah, looking for work.
Okay. So you peer over your roof, and business for the day has gotten started. Now that it's like been 3 days, people are starting. They're like just starting to get back into the groove of normal life. There haven't been like any dragon attacks or anything like that, so everyone's pretty much trying to now make money and do their bit. And so you see merchants in the South Quarter getting out to do their street stalls. You see your average inn that caters to low class, or like, you know, where the price is only half of the list in the monster manual. Sorry, in the player's handbook. Getting the slop ready for the morning. It's the kind of inn where they don't have a menu. Everyone just eats like the one copper dinner. Here's what we're having. Take it or leave it. You know. And generally the down and out are trying to survive. You want to try to sneak that, or you actually want to go down and buy some?
Go down and buy some. Let's I'm gonna sneak it in this bad area of town. I'd probably get chewed up and spit out.
I don't know. It's your character. She can do what she likes.
In any case.
All right. So you walk into, do you fly or walk in?
How crowded is it?
South Quarter is pretty crowded.
So probably be better to fly.
Okay. So you
They'll
manifest.
actually see me.
So you manifest your wings, and when your wings are manifested, they give off the light, the equivalent of a candle, and they sound like they hum like a dragonfly with the sound intensity of someone who's talking like I am. So it's very easy to notice you when you're flying.
Yeah.
So zzz, comes down into the inn, and you're hovering there by the door, and as you walk through, someone's like, "Oh Jesus!" ducks like it's a big bug all of a sudden because he's startled. He sees you and he says, "Meriden!" Walks off because he's pissed.
Whatever.
And someone over from the bar, my French is terrible, but I'm starting to memorize things, comes over and says, "Avec toi," which means come over here.
Mm-hmm.
And you fly over to the bar past everybody. The bar is filled full of humans. You see a couple of elves, a few dwarves that are like, not necessarily in the wrong part of town, but they're dwarves that are like missing fingers. So these are apparently guys that either have lost them through violence or through forge accidents, and both are likely.
Okay.
You fly up to the counter, and a 40-year-old human woman looks at you.
Hold on. So, I know you've talked about it and whatnot. So, humans, do they look down on pigs at all? Are they okay with pigs? Are there any?
All these races pretty much get along.
Everybody gets along.
Everybody who's a member of the noble races get along. There's no racism there.
There's no, okay.
If you encounter racism amongst the noble races, it's something like a dwarf is marrying my daughter.
Okay.
And he has a problem with that because the way I word it, there are no halves in this setting either.
Mm-hmm.
When humans marry other races, they have other races' children. So if a human and a dwarf have a baby, it's a dwarf baby.
Okay, gotcha.
And if it were possible for a human and Pix to have a baby, it'd be a Pix child that would be born.
Well, if it was a male Pix and a female human, it might work.
It might work, although I'm curious about how they make that work in other ways. But let's not go there. So,
okay.
a couple of these dwarves kind of like look at you and kind of get a bad feeling for them because they look rough.
Okay, staying away from them then.
The matron's like, "What do you want?" Now, you're small enough, you can actually land on top of the bar.
Yeah.
All right, so you land on top of the bar. The person who you landed in front of looks at you like, "Damn bugs," which is a slang for your species because, you got antenna.
Okay, whatever.
She's
she's got to get attention however she can, so she doesn't give a shit.
She looks at you, and she kind of rolls her eyes. Roll a sense motive. Difficulty will be 10. This will be easy pick up.
Put my dice.
See, this is why I have dice.
Yeah,
but your
I
dice,
know.
for lack of planning, are actually over here on the other side of the room.
Well, I knew they were remotely close by.
Remotely close by?
Remotely close by.
Remotely close by.
Okay, what am I rolling again? It's been so long since I've done D&D.
You're going to roll a d20 and add your sense motive bonus.
Okay. I haven't played D&D in so long, I couldn't remember how to do it.
That's terrible.
Well,
What did you do with my dice?
I haven't touched your dice.
Did I not bring them out with me? I thought I did.
I don't know.
Oh,
what
yes,
to
I
do.
did. Here they are. Okay, yeah, so it's a DC of 10 because it's very easy to pick up on.
Fuck.
You rolled a...
1.
Oh, God!
So, I'm clueless.
You fumble! Okay. You think she's being sincere. And she rolls her eyes and says, "Great. For you, we've got a thimble for a copper. And we've got a bowl for silver." Now, since you rolled a 1 on your sense motive, you
My
don't realize she's
character has
conning you.
no idea that she's conning, even though the player knows that she's conning her.
Oh, yeah. So you believe it.
Okay, well, she'll take a thimble then.
She takes the thimble, dips it in the gruely, oozy soup they're serving this morning, pulls off like part of a hunk of bread, and hands them over to you.
Okay.
It's so good! Make a fortitude check.
Let's see.
Difficulty 12.
There's something else I can roll on, because this is not very bouncy.
Well, how about we take this, and you use that surface. And there.
It's kind of gnarly.
Well, what more do you want, woman?
Okay, 4 and fortitude, you said?
Mm-hmm.
So 6?
10, you make it. Oh, no, you didn't. I said a 12. So it goes down okay, and you're thinking, yeah, this is kind of good. It's a little greasy, but it'll work. You stand there eating, and your stomach starts to go.
Oh boy. I'm not gonna vomit all over the bar, am I?
No.
Okay, good. Because that would be embarrassing.
One of the dwarves goes, Hey, I don't think it's a good idea. It's a great idea. It's not a good idea. It's a great idea. Hey, bug girl. You ignore him?
If he's gonna call me bug girl.
He slams an armored fist down on the table. Boom! Roll willpower to keep from being startled.
I fumble.
You land on your ass.
So graceful today.
When he slaps the table. Pardon me, mademoiselle. He growls at you. Excusez-moi. You want a job?
Maybe. Depends on what the job is.
See, I told you, she's a smart girl. You don't know that yet. Shut up. All right. My brother and I, we help reclaim lost things.
They're thieves, aren't they?
But sadly, this one ass at the north end of South Border works for the shipping companies. He's taken some jewelry that does not belong to him, belongs to our employer, and has refused to pay my employer the monthly installment on that jewelry. The bastard lives in a second-story room and we can't get into it. But you could. If you help us recover the jewelry, we'll give you half the reward.
Okay.
Half? She should get a third. Shut up.
Okay, can I roll like a... I don't know, would it be sense motive? Just
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that they're being on the up and up?
Yep.
No, maybe I should... This one's been doing me all at once, so maybe I should do a different one. Yes, I know. Player superstition and all that.
Need to beat a 12.
18 on the die.
Okay, now one of the rules changes I put into this setting is a thing called a hard success. Normally a critical success is 10 points over the target, but I've always felt that was a little high. So you get a 5 over the target, I give you a little extra information. You have more than 5 points over his diplomacy. He is indeed being sincere. The job is exactly what he's described, but he is withholding something. And with your hard success, you realize what he's withholding is what might be involved getting it back.
Okay. I've been playing too much Skyrim because the first thing I'm thinking, I just go in there with my bow and arrow, and I'm like, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, so she'd probably want details on the building.
So ask.
And,
Roleplay.
okay, let's see. Well, I'm also thinking out loud. Details on the building. If it's guarded. Okay. So exactly what kind of building are we looking at? Like, is it guarded?
It's one of the old things when the city was first constructed. It's stone with iron bars.
Iron bars. Any like guards or anything like that you have to worry about? 'Cause, you know, dogs and me, small.
Good thing about this building is that it's fairly small, and he's a stingy, he almost curses, but he's a stingy guy. We've seen no one going in and out the guard. We've only seen him. His manservants leave him alone at the door.
Any spell stuff that I need to be worried about?
Both the dwarves just stare at you, wondering what about their appearance and their gruff missing fingers makes you think that they are wizards.
Hey, maybe she doesn't know where, you know, if maybe they have an associate that does magic or not.
They both just kind of stare at you. We have no way of knowing, but we don't think so. That would cost money, and he's already shorting us payments, so he probably doesn't have it.
Okay, so I take it I'd be doing this alone, or would I have backup?
What we need you to do is get in through the window, find the item, bring it out to us. If they chase you, we'll take care of them.
So long as I get them out of the building, of course.
That's what we can't do, so that'd be your role. Yeah.
Okay. Well, she's hard up on cash, so I guess she'd be going with it. Is there anything else that she should be asking?
Well, it occurs to you that they're withholding something. That doesn't sound like anything they'd be withholding. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a hint here since you have hard success. Maybe they've already tried once. So I'd ask them, have you guys actually already tried to get this back yet?
Oh, okay. Have you guys tried to get a hold of this before at all?
They both look a little sheepishly. Yeah, it didn't go so well.
I As in, how not so well?
We made the mistake of approaching him when he had his manservants with him, and one of them is this really creepy dwarf.
Creepy, like...
He makes us uncomfortable. Doesn't talk, silent. No one that big should be that quiet. Where's a mask? Where's a mask everywhere he goes to?
Oh, okay. But no, like, nothing that, like, overtly, no creepy, magic-y stuff thing. Just, he looks creepy.
Feels creepy, too. Fights like a demon.
Not making me feel
Roll a
any
spot.
better here.
Roll a spot.
I fumble.
You don't notice the several fresh bruises and one of the broken fingers, one of the dwarves that he's favoring.
What is with me and fumbling? I swear I need something with lots of bounce. I don't have anything. Oh. Sorry, a little obsessing. You almost need to get like a little tray just for rolling dice that has the maximum.
Some people do that. Yeah.
Bounce it. I wonder if they sell those somewhere.
Probably find it like on Amazon or RPG.net. So what you gonna do?
Well, it seems like it's pretty simple. And she's kind of hard up on cash, so I guess. She'd probably want to stake the building out herself, though.
Excellent. He puts forth a finger for you to shake.
Okay.
So you shake his hand by shaking his finger. Climb on Robespierre's shoulder and we'll go show you where it is.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
She won't hold on to his hair.
So the wards of this district are pretty big. Southie is about 3/4 of a mile from north to south. It's very long, though. And sure enough, they take you to the corner, right where it's pretty close to the river. Let me quickly sketch out a map here. All right, so what you see is you have this area here is where the wharf of the river are. So you've got docks and stuff over here, fishing boats tied to piers, a couple of boats moving stuff in and off. Just across that channel, Southie meets this place called I think it's pronounced in French chalet, which means the shawl. It's kind of like the red light district.
Oh, okay. Oh, yay.
And then this area, you've got the first buildings. Everybody, and these are all like small, like vendor huts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Where they want it done, you have a building here, a building here, a building here. 1 inch on this map will be 5 feet. This is the target building here. And sure enough, you see the window they want you to come by. To approach it, and the door is down here on the ground floor. It is a 2-story. To approach it, you're going to be traveling... Where'd the minis go? Oh, there they are. Good enough. To approach it, you're coming this way. These are the 2 dwarves. Their names are Robespierre and Francois. Just pick generic names for now because they're generic non-stock characters.
Oh, that's good.
We're going to use this for you, this little red-headed dwarf, because she's tiny. And you walk by, and it's still at this point pretty early in the morning. Probably about, it's getting just near 8 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So the stalls and everything still aren't filled up for the day. There are some people out, but the market here and the wharf's only about half as busy as they're going to get.
Okay.
Unless I say otherwise, every 3 inches there's a person. I'm just not going to put them on the map for now. They give you an idea that it's kind of crowded. Okay, so about every 15 feet there's a person. There's somebody in a stall talking to somebody. And these are kind of things we have to keep in mind with your character because you're so small you can actually hide behind people.
And And also have to be mindful in crowds because it's so small I can easily
Stepped
get run
on, bumped
over.
into.
Yeah.
So needless to say, there's the starts of a crowd. The morning sounds that you'd expect to hear are there. People crying, hawking wares, bells ringing, people trying to get attention. And the occasional argument. So this is your target building. You've got one door here on the ground floor that opens. They tell you there's also a door in the back. As you can see, this building's not very big. Since every inch is 5 feet, this building's only about 40 feet wide and maybe 60 feet long. The construction is stone. It's old stone. It does have a peaked roof, and you see one iron-barred shuttered window on the second floor facing this way. And this alley, you see 2 more windows, but you don't see a door from where you are. And of course, you can't see the other side of the building yet.
Ookie.
So that's it. What we want to do is we'll walk along the wharf side. If he's still got a guard, we'll attract attention. You go do that. We'll walk back this way. You meet us back here where we're talking right now.
Okie dokie.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah. Is there like any people that she can see like lingering by the building?
Roll a spot check.
I mean, that's kind of important.
It's broad daylight. It would be fairly easy to detect. Give me a 10 or better.
6 plus 7 is 13.
You see no one particularly milling about. So you're back. They walk this length, and as they're walking, where do you separate from them?
I just want to have something of a still clear view of the building without being too conspicuous. So
Well, you could
like,
walk behind any of these stalls at any time if you wanted to.
Yeah, probably more like right around in here. Cause
Okay.
This will give me a pretty good
Give
view
me
of
a hide
here
check.
And there. Ah, do I really have to roll hide?
You have to give me a hide check. Yes, you do.
17 plus 16.
Jesus Christ.
I disappear completely.
Yes, dear viewer, you heard that correctly. From a combination of her skills and her size, and she's tiny, she has a massive hide skill at first level. That's like a 36. Did you say 17 plus 18?
Yeah,
35.
No, 17 plus 16.
Plus 16, 33.
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, nobody sees you. Not even the stall vendor. You hear, hey, you want some falafel? You just change stuff right over the counter with you, right? Nobody sees you disappear, right? The only fly in the ointment you see is that as you're doing this, 2 members of the city watch go walking by.
Ah.
Now, depending what ward you are in, the watch is either something hard to deal with or your best friends.
In this case?
This is Southie. They're all on the take.
So...
It is very hard to find an honest policeman in this area.
In a nutshell, it could go either way because if they're on the take, then if somebody
Might be
else
employment of
gets
whoever owns
hammered,
the building.
Whoever owns the
Right.
building, that should be, yeah, so it could
But
be...
you do see these 2 police officers. And the police uniform for Southie is a simple breastplate and some leather on underneath it to cushion some blunt blows. These guys already look a little... Either they're coming off of the night shift and they're drinking and celebrating, or they've started their morning shift and they're getting ready for the day. Because from where you are, since your species is sensitive to scent, you can smell the alcohol.
Oh boy. Well, that means that they're... I know the word and I can't think of it at the moment. Compromised. That's not quite right.
All right,
but
so they come wandering by, and since they're walking, they're moving at 15 feet a turn, so they move that far. And you hear one saying to the one, and then the woman thought that she could pay me for... I don't know why I'm doing the funky French accent. And then the woman thought she could pay me to keep quiet, but, you know, I've got my principles, so you asked her for double. So I asked her for double. Her fault for doing business outside the red district. Yeah, you're right. They should stay over there in the shawl where they belong. Anything else?
Okay. Yes, not, since they're still, like, right there.
Mm-hmm.
And they haven't done anything distracting yet.
They have not.
So I'll wait a little longer. See if the city watch can get past more.
They come over this way on round 2 towards the building.
Oh, jeez.
And they lean up against the back of the building, slumping like, you know, Jay and Silent Bob outside of 7-Eleven, drinking discreetly out of a flask.
If I just fly over to the window, everybody's going to see me flying over the window. So...
But You have a 20-foot base land speed.
Mm-hmm.
You can move stealthily at a rate of 10 feet per round on the ground. So it can get you a couple inches across the road. On foot. Now the other things you do, as I said, there's traffic. It would sound really odd, but the first thing I would do, since I'm only a foot tall, is I would find somebody moving like a barrel or something,
Mm-hmm.
clatch onto the barrel to get across the street.
Yeah, there's that is so... And there's plenty of people, like, moving...
Yeah, there are people starting to move around. About every three inches, there's a person.
Okay. And, let's see, they're looking this way, but this is the window I need to get in?
Correct.
Okay. So even if I get over there, if they're still standing over there...
Hey, girl.
I'd have to, like, climb up.
You would indeed.
You just didn't want me to fly.
Well, you can still fly, so everybody will see you.
Yeah. Okay, she'll see if she can tag on to one of them people carrying stuff over, sneakily.
Give me a spot check to detect somebody moving in that direction that you can use. Difficulty will be 10.
17 on the die.
Sure enough, you see a woman and her boy who are carrying sacks. Looks like they've been doing this for a while. The woman's bent over with age, and so she can't carry as much as the boy, but she's also not as observant.
Okay.
And the boy's just got 2 or 3 stacks at a time, and it looks like they're moving like grain or some rice flour. And they are moving from this stall down this way.
Oh, okay. She'll tag on to that then.
Okay, now since they're at the other edge, the first thing I need for you to do is I need you to make a hide roll and a move silent. Best roll 2d20 at once, one for each color, to get over to the side of the stall without being detected, so you can latch onto them when they next come by.
Okay, where is my... Where are you? Over here. Okay.
Now this one's going to be slightly more difficult because there's people milling around that might detect you, although none of them are too observant. I'm going to say you need at least a 20.
Okay. At least a 20 for both?
A 20 on hide.
A 20 on hide, okay.
Your move silent's only going to need to be a 10.
Okay.
Because it's a noisy market.
So, this is move silent, this is hide. Okay, I got a 15... I said this was hide?
Yep, so 15 plus 18 is definitely more than the 20 you need.
15 plus 16... Kind of give me 2 more points. And my move silent was 17 plus 8.
Alright, so you managed to get over there. They disappear down the alley. 10 minutes later, they come back, so it takes them a while to get wherever it is they're going. Mm-hmm. During that 10 minutes, give me a d20 reflexes roll for luck.
Just a reflexes roll?
Mm-hmm.
6 plus 5. 11.
One of the guards manages to drink himself somewhat asleep. He doesn't pace himself well. He's not out of it, but I'm going to put him this way to represent that he's impaired. He has a -3 to notice things.
That's the word I was trying to remember. I couldn't think of it. I don't know why I wasn't able to think of it.
The couple comes back. They jump at both steps off for the next market stall. They get to jump onto one of the sacks that they're taking back without being detected. Roll hide. Let's see. He's holding on to it. You probably don't weigh very much in your gear, but it would be about the weight of a sack. You're going to need, I would say, a 25 total hide to do this without being detected.
16 on the die plus 16 hide.
This is getting annoying. So you jump into the sack, they come across the street, and you're right over here. And again, they're walking through the middle of the street, so now you have options. You could go through these windows if you wanted to. Right now you can't tell anything about it, though, because you're peering through the sack like... What do you do?
Oh, this window over here is further away from the city watch.
Mm-hmm.
Out of their view, so she'll probably get out and try to go through that window.
Right, give me a listen roll.
Natural 20.
Damn. You hear whispering somewhere in the alley. And it seems to you not be normal whispering. It seems somewhat sinister.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Please tell me it's not Cthulhu.
Not every game I run is Cthulhian.
Okay. Well, she sure as hell ain't gonna want to stay in that sack.
You hear thump around the corner.
Fuck. Yeah, she's not gonna want to stay in the sack now.
You pop out of the sack.
Yeah, she's gonna get out of the sack.
You pop out of the sack onto the ground. The couple that was carrying you keeps walking. No one notices you.
Of course.
Give me a spot.
11.
Over here in this stall, you see two people, humans, trying to use the stall to disguise their approach. They've just cast a sleep spell on the guards to make sure they're out.
Ah. So
Roll sense motive.
We got competition,
Oh,
boys.
you already determined it. Yep. They're here. Same thing you are.
Okay. Then let's definitely head for that window. Well, they're both out now, so she could probably go over to this one if she wanted.
Yeah, but keep in mind the crowd's out here.
Yeah, true. So people would likely see. So that one, I don't know. Well, it doesn't really matter because either way.
You have enough land movement to get over to the wall. If you fly, you might be spotted.
She's not gonna fly.
All right. So
She don't know what those people are.
you walk over to the wall. Do you try to climb the building?
I suppose so.
The building is not set up to be climbed, but it's also a very old stone building, so there's easy handholds. You just need a 15.
And I'm tiny, so I can fit my hands in the little tiny cracks. 7 plus 3. Oops.
10. You have a hard time finding some handholds this round. They now start trying to walk nonchalantly across the road.
Oh boy.
And what was your hide again?
For what I rolled last time?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
20. You needed a 25. You rolled something.
I think it was 16 and 16 or something.
Okay, let's call it a 30. They don't detect you yet. They got really close. They rolled very high. And they don't look like they have the best of intentions.
Okay, climb faster, I guess.
Okay? You now only need a 10 because you spent that first round, although you failed the first round. You now, basically can find some extra handholds and get up the wall.
Okay. 14 on the die.
You shimmy up the wall and pop in this window. Give me a spot check to look inside the window and also give me a list.
Let me just do 2. Okay, so... Let me just see. I have those things. So, spot is red, listen is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Spot is 17, listen is 11.
Pop in, you look, and there's somebody in the room. Apparently it's the client that took the necklace. He's asleep in the chair.
Sleep.
And before him there's an open book.
Okay.
You hear him snoring. You don't hear anything else. You have a small room. As you can see, the room's about 10 feet by 15 feet by 10 feet. There's a bed and a chest over here in the corner. The room is not lit. It's just lit by daylight. And behind him, there's a door that is slightly open.
Alright, well, you got them people honing in on her, so normally my preference would be to go and see the other window to make sure that there was nobody in there, but that's my preference.
You gonna climb or fly?
Well, if she flies, she's gonna be spotted, though.
Probably.
How soon are they gonna be able to get over here, though?
Humans have a 6-inch, 30 feet on a walk. They'll get over to the door this turn. That's the door on the ground floor.
They'd still be downstairs, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, she'll try climbing over to the other window and see what's in there.
Give me a 10 again to climb across.
I only got, hold on. 8. Only got an 8.
You slip. But being a Pyx, you immediately
Fly.
Nobody sees or detects you. At least no one that's on the map. You may see a couple people on the road look up like, huh? Oh. And just keep walking, doing their thing. Because yeah, it's a side alley.
So...
This room, you peer in through the window, and you see a room much like the other one, but there is nobody in it.
That sounds like more my kind of room.
And in this room, there are some barrels. And over here there'd be a couple of chests.
Sounds like plenty of stuff to hide behind if need be. So yeah, let's go in there.
Gotta lockpick yourself through the door. Sorry, lockpick yourself through the window.
I don't have lockpick.
Nope, you don't.
I don't.
Because you're not a rogue.
No, I'm not.
How are you gonna get in?
Fuck if I know.
Well, it is a window. It has iron bars. You're small enough you can squeeze between the bars, but it would mean breaking the window.
I do have a bang pot though.
Bang pots are like a firecracker.
Yeah.
Not an explosive.
Yeah, but I like break the window and then I throw the bang pot.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So it ends up being a distraction. We're like, wait a minute.
That sounds like a plan.
So yeah, she'll break the window and throw a bang pot.
All right.
Like.
So you throw the window.
Somewhere.
And you throw the bang pot where?
Like.
Over here in the street?
Yeah, more like over around this way. Somewhere.
What was that? You hear one of the humans say. You hear that one curse. Damn it. You break your way through the window. You're now inside the room. This room, again, is also only lit by daylight. The smell of the room is not musty. I mean, obviously this person cares for the property pretty well. Mm-hmm. But whatever's in the barrels has got something either alcoholic or preservative in it because it smells like it's full of preservatives.
Okay.
Has a very strong odor to it. What do you do?
Go over by the door, like behind it, and peek around.
You have a hallway. That tees off. You see another door here, and you see a door here across the way.
Okay, so I want to probably go for that door because that's to that, most likely to that room where the necklace is.
Most likely.
There's nothing else in the hallway?
Not that you see at the moment.
Can I do a spot check?
Sure. Spot and listen for me. Roll 2 different dice at the same time.
Okay. Spot is red, listen is blue.
And add 2 because there's going to be something scent-based here for you to detect as well.
Okay, spot.
Your species can detect scents better.
15 plus 7, 22 plus 2. That's 24 for spot. Listen. 2 plus 7, that's 9 plus 2, make it 11, right? No, 9. Why am I thinking 11? 9.
So you don't hear anything.
No, wait, 2 plus 7 is 9, plus 2 is 11.
So you don't hear anything, and you don't see anything. But this guy's got a cat, because you can smell where it has decided to mark territory.
Oh, yeah.
All throughout the house. And it is pungent. I mean, it probably was done like 4 or 5 days ago, but to your sensitive antenna, you can still smell it.
Ew. Or actually, it'd be grabbing the antenna, not the nose. Ew.
What do you do?
Okay, well, since it looks clear, sneak out and...
Okay. The hallway has got wooden floorboards. You don't see any rugs. The doors appear to be simple wood. 10 feet down to the hallway led to the bend of the T. You want to like hide over here and then peek around the corner?
Yeah, peek around the corner. Cause...
Give me a hide, move silent again. I got it.
Huh? Oh.
Your character can hear some things occasionally. You hear, I got it.
Let's see. Hide, move, silent. Okay, so hide is red, move silent is blue.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 16 plus 16 for hide. So 32.
You are successfully hidden.
Yeah.
This hallway goes down to a stairwell.
Move silent was 16 plus 8.
And in front of the stairwell, there's a small foot rug. On this room, you actually have a window. And you have a window here that opens out into the hallway. And by both those windows, there's a small lamp.
Why do they have windows on the interior parts of the house?
That's an excellent question.
I ain't gonna go walking in there inside the room without seeing why in the world there's window.
The first thing that comes to mind is that the windows, they may have used this for like illegal operations. And the window allows you to see who's outside the room without having to open the door.
Oh, that's true. So they might actually be looking out the window. Okay, she'll see. Well, first she'll sneaky a little bit over here, and then she's gonna listen in this room to see if that guy woke up when she threw the bang pot.
So you stealth over here to the door.
Yeah.
Give me another hide and a listen.
Okay, hide is red, blue is silent. Okay, 18 plus 16 for hide. 15 plus 8 for move silent.
Okay. He doesn't seem to be awake. You still hear him snoring.
Okay. So she'll go and peek around the corner into the room. Here.
Well, that door is closed.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
Is it locked?
You haven't tried the lock yet.
Like, test it.
Yep.
It's locked. Well, fuck. I don't have lockpick.
Again, not a rogue.
They need a rogue for this job. What the fuck are they getting a scout for?
They assumed
I
you
was
were a rogue.
rogue.
You're a foot tall living in the city. What else are you going to do?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So she's going to take a peek into the room.
So you walk back here.
On him.
And you can't see from him sitting in the chair what he has on him.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't appear to have moved any. Downstairs you hear a grovelly voice. I think you're in the wrong place.
Oh boy. Well, so long as he can...
And you hear a feminine voice say, look, just give us what we want. Nobody has to be hurt. I've got a bow on you. And I've got it filled full of virulent poison. Single scratch and you're gone. Says the gravelly voice in return.
Okay, yeah, she's going to creep in the room and she's going to investigate, see if she can...
Give me a move silent.
Move silent. 19 plus 8.
You move into the room. You do not see anything in the room readily that looks like a key. And the man was dressed for like evening wear. So all he has on him is like a robe and a rope belt. There is a pouch on the rope belt.
Okay, I don't have pickpocket though.
You could try to cut it from him, the old cut purse method.
Okay.
Take your little pix needle and cut the pouch off.
Yeah.
Do that. It is technically a pickpocket roll. It would be a 10 to do this because it's very easy.
Mm-hmm.
However, you are untrained in the skill if I remember correctly, right?
I don't have pickpocket now.
So we're going to make that a 15, but your target is asleep, heavily so you need a 10.
It's held on by twine, I could use rope. I'm just kidding, by the way. I got a 10 on the die.
10 on the die. You take it off, you look inside, and inside there are like some pills, a couple of copper coins, some silver coins, and sure enough, there is a small key.
She'll grab the key.
Okay.
Should I detect traps? Well, I don't have detect traps.
Yeah, you do. You have trap finding.
I do?
You get it at first level. You're a scout.
Oh.
You can find traps just like a rogue.
Is it paranoid for me to want to check traps on the pouch, though?
No, it's not.
Okay, sure.
Downstairs, you hear what sounds like an altercation has gotten physical. You hear a meaty thump, and the woman scream, I broke my nose! You also hear a clang of like metal on metal.
Okay, yeah, so check the pouch for traps. Make sure there's no traps on the pouch.
You quickly peer inside the traps. Give me a search roll. Sorry, inside the pouch, give me a search roll.
10... 14?
Yes, actually, his pouch is indeed trapped. And before you think that that's me being over paranoid, when you consider this key opens up all the treasure in the room, all the chests. Yes, it is trapped. What he's done is he's actually stitched a needle onto the key. It's a very thin needle with a little bit of poison as a paralytic.
So, since I've seen it, is there a way to disable? Like I can.
Yeah, you just have to avoid it.
Okay. So
it's basically designed so if you reach into the pouch too quick, it stabs you.
Okay, so she'll take the key out without...
Now, keep in mind, I just told you, you have a single dose of paralytic poison on this key.
And she'll take the poison, too, while she's at it.
Okay, you don't have the poison, you have a poisoned needle.
A poison needle?
The needle does 1 point of damage, and when you poke somebody with it, they have to make a fortitude check, or they get paralyzed.
Yeah, fuck, if that guy downstairs comes after her, she's fucking hell gonna have that on her.
So you take the paralytic needle,
Yeah.
you've got the key, what do you try to use it on first?
Well, she'll go over and see if the key unlocks the door.
Okay, so it'll be another turn's worth of movement. Come over to the door, you're gonna have to fly up, or climb the wall to put it in the door, because if you look at like this door here that we have, that's more than a foot high off the ground, isn't it?
Oh, shit. I didn't think about that.
But see, I did when I made this race. By the way, anytime you have to use something that's normally designed for someone who's not you, There's an extra -2 to do so because, again, it wasn't designed for your size.
Was there any kind of footstools or boxes or anything like that in that room?
Not in that room.
No, okay. And those crates and stuff would probably be too big. Okay.
Correct.
So she would probably climb up the wall, because if she flies, she might alert somebody that she's there.
It's possible. It'd be a very slim chance, because they're obviously involved in a fist fight. And, you know, Sir snores a lot, obviously can sleep through anything, because the fight hasn't woken him up yet.
Okay, so she'll quick fly up.
You open the door. Inside the room,
Peek inside the room first.
you see several chests piled on top of one
Oh,
another.
Christ, which one has the necklace? I forgot to ask them which one it was.
Okay.
Well, they didn't probably know either.
Curled up by this window, there's a kitty cat.
Oh. I might
He's
use...
asleep.
Oh.
He's sleeping through the fight, too.
Okay.
Over here, you see stretched out on the ground a special rug. And the rug has a mystical pattern on it.
Okay, stay away from the
So
rug.
somebody in this house is a magician.
Okay, so slip into the room quietly.
Give me a move silent. This difficulty will be 18.
I got 16 on the die, so 16 plus 8 is 20 something.
24. Yeah, you make it. The cat rolls over and its ears are twitching and you see it perk up and it looks at the ground. Give me a spot check real quick.
Ooh, 18 plus 7... 25.
It occurs to you that your employers did not tell you what the jewelry looks like and you didn't ask.
Yeah, I haven't role play often enough to remember.
But never fear, because guess where it is?
On the cat?
Around the cat's neck.
I have to get it off the goddamn cat? Okay, fuck that. I'm jabbing the cat with the paralytic thing.
Okay. The cat has not noticed you yet.
Oh, true.
It's right now looking at the sound of the floor going, what the fuck?
Oh, okay, so yeah, jab the cat with the paralytic.
Well, the paralytic is a needle. It's not designed to be a weapon. You actually have to get
Okay.
into range to do it.
Okay.
You are close enough that you could walk over and stab it if you were so wish.
Yeah, let's do that.
Give me a move silent. You get halfway across the room and the cat suddenly spins and looks at you. And then things get really bad because its tail comes up.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have a cat tail. It has a scorpion-sized cat tail.
Oh, geez.
Roll your knowledge nature.
Christ. Do I have cat treats on me? No, I don't have cat treats on me because I wasn't anticipating a fucking cat.
Roll your knowledge nature.
I'm getting there. It's not gonna be that great of a roll.
What you got?
9.
You have no idea what this thing is, but you are fairly familiar that you have no idea what this thing in front of you is, but you are fairly sure that scorpion stingers involve poison.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that most creatures that have poison are also somewhat resistant to poison. Because after all, they have venom.
Mm.
The cat looks at you, gets down on all fours, and kind of goes, roll initiative.
Oh, I have to fight a cat? With a scorpion tail.
It's actually called a manta lynx. It's a little creature I made up for the world.
I got a 20 on my initiative.
They're very popular guard pets for wizards.
Wait, hold on. What the hell is my... How is initiative
Initiative is determined by a d20 roll plus your dexterity bonus.
Plus my dexterity, so...
And you have a +3 if I recall correctly.
Yeah, so I got a 20 on the die, so 23.
You have a 23.
Yep.
You have the initiative over the cat. Now at this point you have an option about how you wish to fight. You may fight with a total attack, full attack action, which means you could step forward and fully attack. You don't have more than one attack in a round yet, so you'd only get the one attack. But I have said that if you go on full attack and you decide to do a dedicated attack, you know, an all or nothing, I'm going to hit this thing, you get a +2 to hit. Just like if you were charging. You can fight aggressively, which adds +2 to hit for the rest of the round, but lowers your armor class by 2. You can fight standard, defensively, which ups your armor class by 2, but also gives you a -2 to hit, or you can take total defense. Those are your 5 options.
Could I throw a pepper pot in its face?
Yeah, sure.
Let's try throwing a pepper pot in its face.
Okay, so a kitten, pull up the cat statistics here.
Well, hold on.
You're fighting a cat in D&D? That never happens!
The cats actually probably have a really high dexterity, so the likelihood of me actually hitting it with that. So maybe Itching Ivy would be better? So it's not a cold shot?
Itching Ivy's a good way to go.
Yeah.
So, let me pull up the cat
Would
monster
that even
template.
apply with animals, though? Because they have fur. Doesn't Poison Ivy have to get on the skin?
Still gets in their skin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a dust.
Okay.
Okay, so a cat, fortunate enough for you, is a half hit die creature. So they don't have a lot of hit points. Good for you.
I really don't want to kill the kitty, but...
It's got a poison stinger for a tail. It's not a kitty. It's a fearsome beast. Oh, crap. This one's got hit points. You know that they're fairly fast. You know that they tend to grab and then start biting. And you know that their bite can be somewhat disastrous for a creature your size.
Yeah. Not only that, they can jump really high, too, so flying around is not necessarily going to be...
A bad idea.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
I'm going to throw an ivy pot at it.
Okay. Here's where we get into the D&D action system. Since you did not have the pot ready...
Oh, yeah. I only have the needle ready.
Correct.
So I've got to...
To draw the pot is an action. It's a partial. You can still throw it, but then that limits you to the rest of the round to a move.
A move. So I could just, like, move one way or another.
Correct.
So, would moving behind the crates, would that be alright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so you grab the pot, you throw it,
Throw
give me
it.
your throw roll. That is a base dexterity to hit the cat, which armor class is... a 14. Because the cat is also tiny, you do not get your normal +2 to hit. So you're rolling a d20 plus your dexterity bonus to hit it. So recall that you don't have a bad.
No.
So 14 minus 3 is 11. You need 11 or better on a d20.
I fumbled.
For your honesty, I will not have the pot break on you. But it lands in front of the cat and bursts, and the cat eerily looks down at it, looks at you, and you can tell there's some intelligence behind those eyes.
Okay, yeah.
It's not a normal animal. You shimmy through here, give me a reflexes to move back between those two narrow crates. Actually, I should say a tumbling, but we'll go with reflexes.
Okay, 6 plus 5 is
You
11.
manage to shimmy between the crates. The cat comes over. It's now right outside here, and it's trying to get at you with its claw. When it can't do that, the tail goes through the narrow space at you.
Oh, yay.
It can make it through the thing. What's your AC?
What is my AC? At the moment, it's just 9. Well, I'm guessing I'm wearing my armor.
Mm-hmm.
So, 19.
Tink in the wall above you.
Oh, yay.
The advantage is to having a high armor class, because you're small.
Maybe I should kill it so I could cut off the tail and get the
And starts doing that at you. It's out of actions. You're out of actions.
Nice kitty.
Downstairs, you hear crash, and someone gets thrown out the front door.
Oh boy.
Your go.
Initiative again?
In this situation, no. I'm gonna go ahead and let you keep the initiative over the cat
Okay.
because one, it's advantageous to you. Two, the standard rules say that GMs are actually supposed to roll initiative for the whole round, for the whole scene, not round by round unless they choose to. I'm going to go ahead and let this one stick because you're small, you're agile, and if I don't let you do that, the cat might kill you. You are only first level.
Yeah.
And I frankly could see you always being faster than this cat. It's kind of your species thing. So yeah, you have the initiative on it. What do you do?
Sure. Okay, so the ivy pot missed, but its face is like right there, right?
Yeah, there's about a foot separating you from the cat right now.
Huh.
And its tail is just long enough to reach across that space.
Oh, okay, so it wouldn't actually be difficult to toss a pepper pot.
Oh no, it's a sitting
Okay.
target because its head's right in the middle between these two things trying to get to you.
Slam a pepper pot in its
Okay.
face.
Since the cat is stationary, no longer has its dexterity bonus to its armor class, roll a 10 or better.
Ooh, 9 on the die.
That's enough to hit it. Boom! You hit it with a pepper pot. Fortitude check. Oh my god.
Pill?
No.
It It
passed.
fail. Oh, Jesus Christ. Really, cat?
So you hit it with a pepper pot right in the face, and it's like... You tell now you pissed it off.
Oh, boy.
It goes on full attack and tries to stab you with the tail.
Oh, shit.
Missing terribly. Downstairs you hear, "Oh! Okay, you win."
Okay.
And from the back room, as Mr. Snoreslot's still asleep.
God. Okay. So at this point, maybe I should use a different weapon.
It might be a good idea.
If my pots aren't working.
Well, keep in mind, you have flyby. You can actually move over there and hit it. And since you have skirmish, what I would do, I would actually fly up, move 10 feet, then hit it, then move away to the other side of the room. Because you have a flight speed of 50. Sorry, 60.
Wouldn't taking out a weapon, wouldn't that be...
Taking out a weapon is a partial.
Okay. So, let's see, what should I use? I got my...
Oh, wait a minute. No, I think you're right. Taking out a weapon is a standard.
Yeah.
That's why you have the quick draw. So yeah, to draw the weapon this round will not let you be able to attack with it.
Yeah. I'd still be able to move, right, though?
Mm-hmm.
Would I be able to move a little, like, further over here so it can't...
So you're getting into the corner so it can't hit you?
Yeah, so its
Okay.
tail isn't...
So you back into the corner so it can't hit you at all from its current position. And draw your weapon.
Which weapon should I put out? So I've got my Pyx spikes. I'm going to guess that they don't have any poison in them.
Not at the moment. You didn't have any to buy.
So...
The needle's probably your best bet.
Yeah, she'll do the needle then.
Okay. So you draw your Pyx needle rapier, and you're waiting for it in the corner, like, come on, Fluffy. The cat tinks questioningly with the scorpion tail, like it's like, where'd you go? And you hear it jump on top of the chests.
Yay!
And you hear skitter, 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 skitter. And you hear, wow.
Yeah, it's probably looking down at me.
Exactly. Remember I said the chests are stacked on top of one another? Mm-hmm. So on the second chest up, it's jumped up onto the top of the chest, and it's now looking down at you.
Oh, okay.
New round.
So.
Now this ain't going to require initiative, because at this point you've kind of broken the encounter.
I have?
The cat has... the two of you weren't actually fighting. Mm-hmm. You backed away, and it backed away. It's like you both withdrew.
Ah, okay.
So it has a 15 for initiative.
I got 17 on the die.
You have initiative. What do you want to do?
Okay, well, flying up, it would probably put me right by the cat, wouldn't it?
Yep, but you could fly this way around.
Okay, yeah, she'll fly.
Now, keep in mind, with your skirmish, you only have to move 10 feet to get the advantage.
Yeah.
You've now moved more than 10 feet. When you hit it, you will roll your Pyx needle damage and an extra D4 for your skirmish, which would normally be D6, because you're small, becomes a D4.
Okie dokie. That's not a D4. I thought that was a D4, but that's not a D4. That's a D8.
Well, first you gotta actually hit the cat.
Okay, I got 6 plus... What have I got? What am I rolling to hit?
The cat's armor class is a 14.
So I'm rolling what and what again?
You're rolling a D20 plus your strength bonus, because you don't have a bab
I
yet.
don't have strength bonus.
So you're rolling a D20 to hit it. You need a 14 or better.
Yeah, I only got a 6, so I missed.
Ha! Oh, crap. The cat tries to hit you. Misses. Tries to claw you. Misses. Ha!
I guess new...
If we're a bigger creature, you'd be adding 2, but it's tiny just like you are, so there's no size difference.
Okay, so new round, I guess?
Nope, same round. You still have initiative.
Oh.
I mean, next round, but you have initiative over it because the two of you are in combat again.
Okay, so another drive-by?
Okay, so you fly back and come back in like a dart?
Yeah.
Okay, again, you have to get a 14 or better.
Ooh, 11, but it's only 11.
Yep. Miss.
This is getting kind of ridiculous. Try again. Yeah, that's even worse than last time.
You miss. Miss.
Spending the entire time missing each other.
And so Snortlot rolled a 1, so he's still asleep.
Oh.
I'm going to give you an idea here. Roll your intelligence. Roll a d20 plus your intelligence bonus.
I don't know, could I knock some of the crates over or something?
Yeah, so you need to change the battle plan here.
I got a 19 on the die for intelligence.
Okay, so the problem here is that the cat obviously is fairly agile and it's hard to hit. Normally you wouldn't be having this problem because it'd be big.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is either narrow where it can go, so it loses its Dex armor class again, or hide from it, catch it flat-footed, which will make it easier to hit again.
Okay. Well,
If it loses sight of you, it probably won't be able to find you. First thing I would do if I were your character is fly out the door, up to the roof, hold on to the roof, and wait.
You mean the ceiling?
Mm-hmm. But
Okay.
fly outside so it loses sight of you.
Oh yeah, she'll dart outside and
Zip.
scoot up in
Now,
for them.
the good news is, the top of most hallways is about 8 to 10 feet.
Yeah.
You have moved in the round, so when this cat comes around the corner,
I still have skirmish.
you get your skirmish. Just from fun. Got it. Ah! I see your Pyx like holding the needle in both hands like Conan the Barbarian. Crawl, count the dead!
Oh my goodness. Am I rolling a hide or something?
Yep, I need you to roll hide.
Should I even bother the roll?
Yeah, you still need to roll hide.
13 plus 16.
Alright, so you fly around the corner and you hide. The cat loses sight of you and is like, what the... And so it comes out the hallway and starts crawling around looking for you. On the next round, you will have a surprise round because it lost track of you. Meaning you get to act and it doesn't get to resist. It is flat-footed. It gives an AC of 10.
It's also outside in the hall, so I could also dart inside and lock the door.
You could do that if you want to completely avoid the encounter, but keep in mind, the jewelry is still on its neck.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. So yeah, well, I'll go after the cat.
Do you want to use your Pyx needle or the paralytic needle?
I don't know if the paralytic needle.
So we're going with the Pyx
work.
needle. Brunt damage. Not a problem. I completely
Yeah.
understand. Go for it.
I still have initiative?
Yeah. You have a surprise round. It lost track of you.
Seriously, a 2?
I didn't see that. Roll it up here.
And I got a 19 on that one.
Oh, roll again to confirm critical hit.
Um,
Use the same stats of a dagger. 19 and 20 is possible critical hit.
10.
Yep. So you have a critical hit on this poor Mantle Lynx. You will roll 2d4 for the dagger plus a d4 for your skirmish.
Okay, do I have 3d4?
If you do 5 points, you provoke a concussion result because I'm using some different maximum damage rules. And if you do 10 points, you enforce a possible kill shot because that's more than its constitution.
Yeah. I got a 7.
With a natural 20, it does not black out from the pain. You come down, splam! Hit it. The cat kind of goes... has enough time to look at you over its shoulder like, what the fuck? And then it passes out as you have done one more point than it has in hit points of damage.
Ah,
Slam!
okay.
An elation goes through your character. Roll willpower, difficulty 10.
I got a 10 on the die, so 12.
You resist the urge to scream out your victory as the feline lay slumped on the floor beneath you.
Oh,
The
good.
jingling bauble around its neck still.
Make sure the bauble isn't trapped on the cat. Did Mr. Wakey wake up? No? Is there somebody behind me?
There's a dwarf there. He is dressed head to toe in black, has on a long cloak, has a weird mask on that mutes his features. As strange and surreal as the setting is, it occurs to you what's really weird is that he has no beard.
Okay.
And he's clapping these metal gauntleted hands at your achievement.
Of getting the cat.
And it's hard to tell what its emotions are because, again, it's behind a mask.
Yeah.
It gets done clapping, and then it says to you, I've been wanting to do that ever since this bastard hired me. First thing that thing did was piss on my boots.
Glad to be of service.
Whatever you've stolen, you need to leave it and go.
I didn't steal anything.
Your lucky day, then.
Yay.
Now, this is a diplomacy check as you are trying to get out of this without a fight. So I need a diplomacy check. Difficulty 12. It would be higher, but he likes the fact that you killed this cat for him.
10. I don't have diplomacy, so am I adding anything to
Charisma.
that? Just be an 11.
Oh, so close and yet so far.
Yeah. Can I run away?
I can't let you leave without paying for the damages at least. What'd you break to get in here?
Just the window.
That's about 10 gold to fix. It's a window. Hold on, someone's coming to the door.
Oh, that's the mail.
Hello.
What? Get in. Thank you. What the hell is that?
I have no idea. We will look into it later. Both addressed to you, though.
No, this is addressed to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, probably from your mom.
Yep.
Alright, so the dwarf in black goes, well, I need at least 10 gold to fix the windows then.
She only got 11 gold, so she only have 1 gold left.
You're faster than him. You could probably just grab the necklace and dart by him.
That's what I'm thinking. So snag the necklace and run.
You have enough movement to do that. You take the necklace off the slumped kitten. Sorry, stump. That would be an action to grab it, but then you still got a move action for the round. Which way do you try to get out of here?
Oh, he's between me and my broken window.
Right, so to move through his threatened zones would provoke an AOO.
Yeah.
You could try to go out that window since you haven't broken out of it yet.
Yeah. Just avoid the carpet of death or whatever it is. So yeah, she'll probably go that way.
You're flying, I assume, at this point?
Fuck yes! I'm a lot faster flying.
Alright, so you fly over, then it occurs to you, oh crap, I don't have an action to break the window.
Shit.
He comes barreling through the room, hits the carpet. And a web spell goes off.
Like, just
all around him from the carpet up to the ceiling. And he stopped. And he's like, frack, I forgot about that. Now he's very strong, so you see him starting to rip through the webs to try to get out of them. You have a round to try to break that window. A window has a hardness of 2, and it has 3 hit points.
So I need to do really well.
Hey, little doggy.
I got a 3.
3 to...
A 3 on the die.
What'd you roll to hit it? You still have to roll to hit the window.
3.
You missed the window somehow. Maybe you hit it and just you don't hit it effectively to do damage.
I got the necklace in my hand.
You hear stuff ripping out of the webs as he's trying to fight through the webs.
Am I rolling again to hit it?
Mm-hmm.
13, thank goodness.
You hit it. You do normal damage. Roll your normal damage.
That's my D4, right?
I'm going to assume that you're also desperate, so you're doing your skirmish thing to try to break it. Sping, sping.
Of course! Let's do that! So it's still just a D4, right?
2d4.
Oh, 2D4. I haven't played a scout in so long. I got a 4.
So that'll get 2 points over the hardest. You see a big crack appear in the window, but it's still got some hit points, so it's still there. You're not out yet. Another round.
Okay.
Boom! He gets 1 arm free.
Oh, shit.
Roll initiative. He has a 20.
Christ!
I rolled a 17. I got lucky.
I got a 1 on the die.
He all out grabs for you.
Oh, boy.
Misses you because your armor class is so fucking high.
Okay. Woo!
And you try to break the window through again?
Do I have to roll to hit it again?
Yes. You have to roll to hit in D&D because, again, you cannot hit it effectively.
Oh, thank goodness. 17 on the die.
Okay, roll 2d4 for damage again.
I got a 5.
That's enough to break the window. Smash!
Yes!
Outside, you see your buddies come to the front like, what? You see these two limping down the road.
Yeah, do I have enough move action to get out of there now, or am I?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's out the window.
You will make your escape. You successfully beat this little mini adventure.
Oh my goodness.
See, little adventures can be fun. You just have to know how to structure them right. You zip across. I imagine you have some things to say to these two guys.
Oh yeah, she'd be chewing them out.
All right, so you zip across. They see you, and the first thing one asks is, "Do you have it?"
She throws the necklace in one of their faces.
He snatches it.
And said, "The cat had a scorpion tail."
We did not know.
And
We never got past the big. Oh, and you see from the window, armored arm coming through the window, and they run.
Hey! You cowards!
You have no problems keeping up with them because you fly much faster than they run. They're dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is, can you run and not be detected by the crowd so they say things to the watch later? Hide rolls, please.
Yeah. Plus 16 is...
Yeah, no one remembers you. You're good.
They're not?
Not so much. So they hightail it back to the bar you came out of.
Mm.
You know, the inn/bar. Oh, I can't believe we got away. We did it. We beat that bastard. We did.
You mean I
We
beat
are-
that bastard, you idiots?
They're about to like do the whole dwarf clang forearms thing. We. Très magnifique. You have indeed proven your worth to us this day. Come, our employer will want to meet you.
You better pay me.
You better pay us all. Yeah. So, you go to their employer.
Mm-hmm.
They walk down to a pawn shop. And the pawn shop has got nice, beautiful Elven script on it. It says something in Elven, which you can't read because you don't read Elven, but you recognize Elven script.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a real, like, nature motif to it. There's, like, carved bushes and stuff everywhere you look. You walk inside, and a little Elven boy opens the door, sees the two dwarves, and he sees you, and he brightens immediately. Because I imagine that Pyx being Pyx,
Mm-hmm.
kids kind of think they're cool. All right? How cool is it not to like a flying, glowing Tinkerbell, right?
Mm.
So the boy's eyes kind of bright. He's like, "Oh, hi. My daddy is just doing the books. Did you succeed?" "Yes, we did. Can we come in?" "Oh, yes, sure. He comes in. You see a couple other adventurers over in a corner nursing broken bones because apparently item retrieval is a bit of a dangerous business.
Apparently.
Ow. Ow. As you pass by one adventure, you hear, "Can you believe what this guy did to the cart? I mean, what was he thinking?" "I don't know. Some people just rent these things and don't think they have to keep care of them because they don't know them." "Yeah, I know, man. It's terrible." And then the guy, you hear no one say, "And then the guy pulled an over-under double-barrel heavy crossbow on me." Oh, Jesus. Like tow truck riders repoing cars.
Yeah, not making her any inclined to do item retrieval.
You walk into the back room. The back room is filled with scrolls and stuff, and there's an elf couple, both dressed very elegantly. One's smoking a pipe. The other one is sipping mead, and they both look at you. "Robespierre, Francois, who is this you brought to us?" "My lady, my lord, this is the Honorable Sophie." And he pauses because he realizes he never got your family name.
I never picked a family name.
The Honorable Sophie, who was kind enough to help us retrieve your missing bauble, and hold up the necklace. And she takes it, she looks at it. She looks back at them, she looks at it. Roll sense motive.
It's
Difficulty
not the right
10.
one, is it? Did they get it wrong?
Keep rolling.
Oh boy. 12 plus 5. 17.
So, Francois Robespierre, let me get this straight. You are sure this is the item in question? "Yes, it has all the descriptions. It's emerald necklace with faux diamonds," and they mentioned all the things about the necklace particulars. And she's like, "Yes. The necklace that we are trying to retrieve is a necklace of regeneration. This is," and she does like a flick of her hand, and magic missiles burst forth from the necklace, going
What?
right past their ears and past your head.
Oh my.
Ow! The sizzling electrical energy passes by. "A necklace of magic missiles.
Oops.
You've been duped. However, this necklace is worth a tidy sum. We will keep it and pawn it, and we think we deserves, what do you think, dear? 50 gold for both the dwarves. And for the young Pyx." He looks at you, and you sense that you're being evaluated.
Oh boy.
And he says, "Yeah, her too." They hand out 50 gold to the dwarves and to you, because the necklace is worth much more than that.
Yeah. But hey, it's 50 gold more than she had before.
They say, don't spend it all in the same place. The two dwarves exit. And as you're about to leave, the shop owner's like, dear, a moment.
Yes?
Unlike Francois and Robespierre, I sense that you are not so single-minded in your abilities to retrieve things.
But
I notice that they have injuries, but you don't.
sheer luck, I assure you.
There's something to said for being lucky better than good, especially when you're starting off. I'd like to extend you the opportunity to work for our company full-time. We could definitely use someone who's mobile and small like yourself, can go unnoticed. You seem to have a sense of discretion.
Sure, just I'm not actually a thief though.
Oh, don't worry, we would never ask you to steal something. Everything that we are asking you to reclaim, actually we have books for and registers. We're not thieves here. Oh, no, surely we're not thieves here. You see the woman quietly step in front of something.
Sure, that's, I don't know how to lock pick or anything like that. I'm a bit more of the outdoorsy type.
Well, we're familiar with your species. The Pyx obviously favor the wilderness. We know that. But still, your ability to scout and help reconnoiter can be useful. Just tracking where people go and who they talk to would be immensely valuable to us. Say at the tune of 25 gold a month.
Is that a substantial amount? Or?
A standard meal in D&D is 2 gold.
Mm-hmm.
And a poor quality inn is about 2 to 3 gold for the night. So he's basically offering you enough at the low places in the South Quarter to slum it for a month. Plus, I think you're also working on commission if you find something or do something else.
So
It's not great. It'd be like a little bit below minimum wage.
Oh, okay. How does the